Okay, let's start again and get back to our Cornell trees. I'm going to first make sure that I've got on-the-fly transformations. I'll bring the trees in first, and the index second. And we'll use the transparency. And we'll grab a couple images. All right, 846, 892. Get a closer view. So here we have kind of a close-up view. It's the football stadium, and what the folks have done at Cornell is made an inventory of the trees that line around the campus. Looks like there's a pretty good orientation there. What I'd like to do now, though, is to take a look at how we can display these as we move in and out. So one of the things I'm going to do is just turn off the aerial photography for now, and we'll go to the full extent of the layer. There we go. And so here's the full extent of our map, and you can see what's happened is that the trees are kind of taking over. So they still occupy the same sort of size, regardless of whether you're looking out far away or fairly in close. And so if we compare the mapping here, we would probably say that we really want to be in pretty close to actually look at the individual trees. And so this looks like about a scale of say, let's just say we went to 1000 here. So at that particular scale, it looks pretty good. And as you go to say a smaller scale, the trees start to take over. So we would probably want to turn them off or make them look differently at a different scale. So the idea is to try to investigate how that might occur. So the other thing that we may want to do is we may want to look at these trees, and maybe we don't care about all the trees. Maybe we only care about trees of a certain type. So if I look at the attribute table for the trees, you can see that here's the common name and the botanic name and so on, and they've got codes and the date that they were surveyed and so on. But here, if I click on this heading, what it will do is it'll alphabetize these, and you can see there's a few beech trees and there's a few elm trees. So we might be interested in just the elm trees, hornbeam. There's some different types of maple trees, for example, and some birch trees and so on and so forth. Different types of pine. There's lots of Austrian pine. Looks like there is a favorite. There are fir trees and so on and so forth. So what we want to do is maybe give some sort of indication as to different trees. So what I would like to do is to make a rule-based method for the style. And here under the style heading, we can go down to rule-based. And you can see what the current rule is that there's no filter on the rule, there's no scale on the rule, and the label is a dot. So what we could do is to to look at this and say, well, this rule we want to do something different with. And down here is the edit button. So we're editing this particular rule. And right now we could say this is, we'll just label it so that we've got some kind of idea. And we're going to set this up such that once we get above a certain number, all of the trees are going to disappear. So I'm just going to go to 10,000. So now we've adjusted this scale for this particular rule. If we say OK, you can see now that we've got a minimum and maximum scale here. We may want to edit this so that it goes down even a little bit further. So I could edit down here to 100, say, for example. Okay, so what effect does that have? Well, if I apply this, what I have now is I have the, it's changed the colors. But now as I get closer, I get further away, I'm sorry. As I get further away, the trees disappear. As I get closer, they come back. And so it may be that that's, we don't want that to be quite that level, but there's a way that, so now as I go to the, let's say I go to the full extent here, there's no trees at all. So that's a scenario. Now I may want to come in and work on a particular area in pretty much detail here. So I'm going to do that in this area here. So I'll set that as a bookmark. And I'm going to go through and delete these bookmarks. And we'll add the stadium. And now if we're out somewhere, we can come back to the stadium. Okay. We'll come back to this in a couple of minutes and start to work with these trees a little bit more.